Go ahead. Hit me.
Who's asking my business? Who is? Oh, why do you ask what I'm playing? Huh. Can you post the brackets in Discord, Mike? Appreciate it. Uh, I gotta buy.
Oh my God,
You
guys.
gotta.
I did it again. I've been completely muted the entire time. Thank you, Caesar, for informing me. I do this every single time, bro. Every single time I do this and I mute myself inside the stream. I was casting the whole thing. You see me guys jaw jacking the whole time and nothing's coming out. But as like I was mentioning, Stash Flash has been in a couple of my tourneys and he's a very scary firebrand. He uses a custom build. What happened over here? Next round is going to be Caesar versus Hannibal, guys. There's Caesar right there, and I did see Hannibal who just entered. He is swapping his build right now. I apologize for that, guys. This is probably the third or fourth time I've done this where I was completely mic muted for the beginning of my tournament. It's worth a good laugh, at least. Let me refresh my stream. For some reason, it's paused. I don't know why. There we go. Now here we go. We're going to take a quick look at Hannibal. He's running Blood Soul Reaping with Scourge. He's also got Scepter Torch with Staff. He's running with Traveler and Sage Amulet. Let's take a quick look at Caesar. He's been in a few of my tournaments and he has come in with his Hollow and smartly using Rune of Resistance with Marauder. He's also going for Sigil of Energy and Cleansing, which he obviously needs. The Hollows don't have much in the way of cleansing, but he's also running Elixir Seed just to mitigate more of that damage. He is a Tools Hollow. So this is going to be really interesting. The Hollow doesn't have much Condi clear, and the Scourge doesn't have much mitigation or credibility. He's very susceptible to these CCs, as you can see. You already got him with the Overcharge, and that was Immortal already using one of his major CCs to break through with it. Good job by Immortal. This is what he really wants to do. He kind of wants to make Caesar come to him and punish him as he's coming towards him. And he's doing a really good job. He's trying to get the condies up. He's got the Ghastly Breach up right now. Heavy pressure onto McGurn. He's got to be careful for the Corrupt Boon, which he doesn't have on cooldown. Big overcharge, and this is his chance. As I mentioned, Necros don't have much in the way of CC. They're just very susceptible to it, and it's kind of a good match right here. I like these matches because they're both countering and kind of not countering each other. One's susceptible to CC and one's susceptible to Condi. So it's going to be a really, really good match. Good job by Immortal. This is exactly the position that he wants him in. He wants him to be far away where he can drop all his CC, drop his marks, drop his wells wherever he needs to, and make McGurn run through that Caesar. Good job mitigating that shockwave. He's just trying to get the heavy pressure down. He's got the CC, and as the longer this goes, I think it's going to favor Immortal more and more as it goes on. But it doesn't take long for McGurn to get that big CC down. It just takes him a couple seconds, but I don't think he's running with Elixir U, and that's a big source of his damage. Oh, he does have Elixir U. He exchanged it for Photon Wall, which is Photon Wall against the Scorch is not really useful because it's just a lot of Condis and unblockable marks, so it's not going to be a good for him. So it's actually a good swap by Caesar doing this. Immortal actually re-sustaining just a little bit. Good kite. That was on his Spectral Walk. He gets him with the Prime Light Beam. I think this is going to be good. Oh my goodness. Really good dodge on the Shockwave. He puts up the Ghastly Breach one more time. That's 7 stacks of... Ooh, he was able to clear the Condis. I believe he used his Elixir C. No, that was probably just his healing turret or a swap, which he got really lucky on the Condi clear. Immortal's in heavy pressure right now, but they're both in heavy pressure. This is a really, really good exchange. Good fear popped up onto Caesar. Immortal staying on the no port spot doesn't really help too much, but he does be able to get that, avoid that LOS. It has reached the timer, and as I mentioned, there's a 2-minute timer in this match. I'll explain it to you in a minute. Oh no, Caesar! He's able to mitigate all the Condi. If he can get some good CC down onto Immortal, he can still get this. Oh, really close. And as I mentioned, I'll let you guys take a quick look over here. You can see this AoE effect coming from this door, this spawn, and this spawn. And that happens at the 2-minute timer. Once the 2-minute timer happens, there is 0 healing allowed, and there's an AoE effect that eventually encroaches onto the entire map, enveloping everything, so forcing the opponents to come over here. So this is something you really got to take into consideration if you're participating, or if you are trying to participate in future events. The last 20 seconds is where you really got to change your game plan. You got to make sure you have your cooldowns, make sure you use your heals before they come up. That was a really, really good fight. Really, really, really good fight. And I think Hannibal's been in 1 or 2 of my tournaments before, so you should know that it's... Yeah, okay, good. Let's take a quick look at Caesar, see if he made any changes. I don't believe so. He's still running with what he had before. Let's take a quick look at Immortal. That was a really, really good match, and that's the second match of our tournament, I believe. Yeah, second match of our tournament. It might be going to a game 3. That could have gone any way. But as I mentioned, the Scourge is susceptible to CC, and the... Hollow is susceptible to Condi, so they're both countering each other right now. It's a really, really good fight. It just comes down to who can bait who and who can avoid that. And unfortunate for McGurn, 2 of his CCs are quite obvious. The Shockwave right there, but Immortal actually got caught in it. He ended up using the Spectral Walk to break through. Big CC from McGurn, another big overcharge shot. That's all McGurn needs, you know what I mean? If he's able to catch him in that Shockwave and then just CC chain that and keeping the pressure in between CCs, getting the full amount of time. Let's say when you get him with the overcharge, he's down for 2 seconds. So you put in a little bit of that Photon Blitz, and then just before the Photon Blitz ends, you pump him with the Prime Light Beam, and then when he's down for the CC for 2 seconds, jump shot. And then he's about to get up, you hit him with that overcharge. So those 3 CCs, they can keep a lot of pressure, and you can damage in between. McGurn, I mean, Immortal's got to be really careful for that. I would have saved my Spectral Walk break stun for a little bit longer because he's expecting you to use that CC right away. And the overcharge shot is probably the only CC that Caesar can use that's very, very, very hard to notice. It's almost instant cast right in your face. There's not much you can do to see it coming at you. But this is a game 3. This is already 2nd match in the first round. First round is usually a little stumbly, like I mentioned. I did do my roster check, but there's still some people that may not be here or may not just decide that they didn't want to wait and they ended up leaving. But so far so good. We have every one of our participants, and our second match is a stunning one so far. Immortal got a little caught over there. He's got to try to get the high ground, get some fears off. And he does have unblockable marks, so he's got to be really careful. Good job by Caesar using the CC to get in and break that engage. And again, he gets him with the overcharge, and he uses the break stun on the Spectral Walk. And now this is a bad move by Immortal. He's staying at the entrance of his Spectral Walk. He should try to kite away, pull back, use a lot of his AoE damage to put down the pressure. Right now, he's getting a really good exchange. Good clear by Caesar, but really good positioning right now by Immortal. He's got the high ground. He's just dumping a lot of CC. This is a bad situation right now for Caesar. He doesn't have much Condi clear. He's kind of just running, using that W key to mitigate a lot of damage. Caesar just trying to use the Scepter to keep the Condi up on top of him. Good CC coming out by Caesar right here. He's going to go for the Shockwave. He's actually able to knock him down. He does have his Spectral Walk, and he does have his little trail over here, the Trail of Anguish. Really good positioning again by Immortal. Caesar trying to create a little more distance with that jump shot, trying to get away, but Immortal does have 1,200 yard range, so he's got to be really careful, and his marks are unblockable. He gets him with that Condi. He's able to clear it. Really good job by McGurn, being patient on his Condi clear, not using too much, and you can see he still has his Elixir C in case he does need it for some big heavy hot. That's exactly where he wants to use it. Great job by Caesar, being very patient with his cooldowns, not getting overzealous, not getting too excited. He still has his Shockwave and his Elixir U that he can combo really well together. So this way, if he uses the U with the Shockwave, you won't really be able to have enough time to see it because you're expecting the regular slow animation, but in quickness, it goes much faster. So he finally does pop his Elixir U. He goes for the jump shot with the Prime Light Beam. Good job by Immortal, being able to mitigate that and get away as fast as he can. McGurn forced to use the Elixir C. Now, this is a bad situation because Immortal knows that he's used his Elixir C. There's no more oh shit button. As you can see, he's trying to keep the pressure on him, trying to maintain the high ground. But he's got about 5 seconds left in this match. He's got to use his healing turret right now. Really good job by Caesar, knowing that the cooldown is coming. Now, this is where it's going to get really dangerous for June. He doesn't have any sort of CC Condi clear right now. He doesn't have any sort of health. He can't even use his F1 ability. This is going to be really dangerous. He catches him in a big CC, but he was ready with the stun break. Oh, Immortal is really low. He's trying to go for the heal, but he doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't realize that Immortal's got to be careful with the... Oh, he tries to get him with the... That was an epic fucking fight. Good job, Caesar. Good job, Hannibal. That was a very entertaining to watch. Really, 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 really good fight. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Stone Rogue, I do a lot better in Fashion Wars than I do in PvP. So that's Immortal that actually moves over. So that's Hannibal that's moving forward into this tournament. Next up is Romano versus Artemis. This is going to be a really, really, really good match. And this is one of the things where it's a 2-1 series. I'm going to make sure to mark down 2-1. So our next match coming up, the hell was that? Romano. So there's Shield of 4, and there's Artemis. Let's take a quick look at this. I believe this is Romano. Let me just make a quick recap. Yeah, it is Romano. He's running on his Spellbreaker versus Artemis Flame, and I think Spellbreaker doesn't have the advantage on this. Artemis is a Fire Weaver, I believe. He's running Discipline Strength with Spellbreaker. He's got Dagger and Shield with Greatsword. I usually switch between Axe and Dagger, but I prefer Dagger, I think. Rune of Holbrack with Demolisher. Let's take a quick look at Artemis. She's running Wizard Amulet with Balthazar, Sword Focus. She does have Fire Arcane and Weaver, so she is a Fire Weaver. She's a very, very, very strong Weaver, one of the strongest that I know of. So this is going to be a really good match, and I know Romano is very tough as well. Thanks for watching, by the way, guys. I really appreciate it. We're just starting our first round. We're about our third match in our first round. It's going really, really well. Everybody I've also checked has been here. Everybody I called up has come up right away. It's flowing really, really nicely. I'm excited for the quarterfinals. We have over 400 gold in this tournament. We're going to be giving away first, second, and third. Romano going for the hard engage. Good CC by Sip My Ocean. She's just trying to... Now... Shield 4's got to be really careful with the burning, and Artemis knows how to bait the target, especially with a warrior who's got very, very visible animations. Shield's got to be really really clever on how he baits her into it. He does have the Mage Bane, but Artemis staying really close. She's putting up the swirling winds. I don't think she's used Twist of Fate yet, but this is where it starts to get really dangerous for Shield 4. You can see he's gone into Rampage to mitigate some of that Condi, but this is also a bad news. And that was a really good job by Shield 4. He only used the Rampage to try to frighten Artemis a little bit, keep her away. Really good Whirlwind, good Mage Bane. Oh my god, he's going to get it. That was beautifully executed. As you can see, that all started from that Rampage. He had a couple stacks of Burning. He used the Rampage because I'm sure he's got Rune of the Leadership on. No, he has Rune of Holeback. I was curious to see how he got. Interesting. It seemed like he was able to clear those Condis with the switch over to Rampage, but maybe Rampage is procced by Sigil of Cleansing. I'm not entirely sure. But he went over to Rampage. Artemis backed off just a bit, and Artemis came back in to put some more pressure because the Rampager is very susceptible to Condi.
He used Mending as soon as he came out of Rampage too.
Okay. And then as soon as he came out of Rampage, he was able to get her on a really, really good burst of the Trailblaze and the Whirlwind. As soon as he got the Whirlwind, I believe he tried to get the Arcing Slice and was able to get the Mage Bane on her, pulled her on the Mage Bane, and then he finished her up with the Breaching Strike. That was really, really, really impressive by Shield 4. And that's Romano. By the way, guys, he's really, really tough. Played the game for a long time. Oh, his Mending removes 3 Condis and he has a 5-second weapon swap, which, oh yeah, that's for sure. Let's take a look. He does have that traded, yep, right here, Brawler's Recovery. He's got 5-second weapon swap, so he's every time he swaps, he's able to remove a condition. He's also got Cleansing, and he's also running with Mending. So this is his only way of really mitigating any Condi. And this is kind of, and he's also got Shake It Off. So he's got a lot of Condi clear, actually. So, against a Necro or something of that sort, I would say, okay, this is not enough. But against someone like a Ellie over here, Fireweaver, where she doesn't have too much Condi clear and she really focuses on the burning. There's maybe 2 or 3 Condi clears that she, or Condi covers that she can put up on top of Shield 4, but he's got so much Condi clear actually, especially with Mending, and he's got Shake It Off, and he's got the weapon swap, and he's got the Cleansing, so that's quite a bit. Artemis has got to be really clever right here. She's able to get some good stacks on him. He has used his Mending again, but this is the type of game that Artemis wants to play. A lot of poking and a lot of prodding, but he's already gone through all of his cooldowns. He does use the Rampage to try to mitigate some damage and keep her off him. But Artemis does a really good job using the Twist of Fate right there, really mitigating most of the damage coming from him. He doesn't have much of his Condi clear. Mending is only on a 12-second cooldown. He does have a Bull's Charge. And Artemis, again, like I mentioned, there's not much Condi cover over here, but the burning stacks hurt a lot. He's got to be really careful. That was kind of a little bit of a waste of a Mending. He could have waited until he get a little more burning, like right now. And as you can see, those 5 stacks are going to hurt him. He's able to clear that with his swap. He's got the Cleansing and the Shield. When he swaps weapons, he clears 2 Condis from the Cleansing and his weapon swap. But the Cleansing is on 9 seconds and the weapon swap's on 5. Really good Whirlwind. Artemis has got to be really, really careful about the big burst that can come out of Shield 4. It doesn't take much time. Now he's got to be careful. Those stacks of burning are going to get him. He's got the Mending that just proc, and that's really, really beneficial for him because he does have the 12 seconds only on Mending. Artemis has got to try to keep the pressure, make sure not to get pulled by that Mage Bane because that's the start of a lot of his combo. Good port on by Artemis, trying to make sure that she doesn't get pulled by that Mage Bane, and that's what Shield 4 was looking for. He's looking for that Mage Bane so he can start some of his combo, get that heavy pressure, and that's what you need to do to an Elementalist. Keep that heavy pressure onto them, get to them about half health, and just pump the damage. Just keep pumping the damage, and at that point, they just can't sustain from it. Their heals are very small and come in increments. They don't have that really large heal. They also do have a lot of barrier right here. He did catch him in the... Oh, he gets her in the Arcing Slice and tries the Whirlwind. Got the Mage Bane. Unfortunately, it just procced off before she was able to get the pull. That was super unfortunate. Now we're into the 2-minute timer here. I'm not sure if I'm going to give this to Artemis or Shield 4, but Artemis does have a lot of barrier being an Ellie, and she's able to keep the burning down. Romano rocked right into that poison. He's got to be careful. And I think this is probably one... Oh, Artemis getting hit with the fucking rock throw to the face. Romano taking it. Oh, Lord. That was almost desperation. And I thought Romano was going to die. He didn't see the map mechanic coming to him. The stream is laggy during fights. Maybe my graphics are too high. Let me lower a couple things. Texture, lower this. Shaders, lower this. Post-processing, let's lower that. Hopefully this helps you guys. So it's actually Ramino that moves forward as a Spellbreaker over Artemis. Really good job. The next one is going to be Anarchy versus Anya. And in Artemis' defense, she really didn't want to do this. So there we have it. Both of them already entered. Artemis didn't really want to do it, but I begged her to enter because I like seeing her play. She's really strong Ellie, and if anybody wants to learn Ellie, you have the opportunity to watch her play. So here we go with Anya. He's running the regular, he's running Rune of the Resistance, yeah, with Marauder. He's got Sword, Staff. He's running Invocation, Devastation, and Herald. Let's take a look at Toxic Illusion, Dueling Chaos. This is going to be interesting. He's going for the Condi. Now, he's really susceptible to the big burst from Anya. He's got to be able to use those no port spots. As you can see, he already got ported on a couple times, and just by being on a no port spot, he could have mitigated a lot of that. He puts down the Chaos Storm. He gets caught in the Shackling Wave. Actually, he was able to port it out of the Shackling Wave. Good job by him. This is a good position for him. I wouldn't be standing on the platform. I'd be using the no port spots. Good. He's able to port away. Anya dominating most of this match right now. Toxic Illusion's got to be really careful, and as I mentioned, these are no port spots. All these ledges are no port spots. The side shoulder of the stairs are no port spots. This little pillar right here is a no port spot. And these things are very, very crucial, especially against the Revenant. You can mitigate a lot of their entrance if you just stand on the no port spot and just kind of AoE them. And even maybe drop a Chaos Storm on top of the no port, sitting far back on the corner so he can't really touch you. But that was a quick win by Anya there. I guess I'll take this time to thank you guys for watching. If you like this type of content, guys, check out the highlights video. Or you can click that follow or subscribe button to see when I do them. I do them almost every single day. Actually, every single day I've done them since I started Twitching. Anywhere between 8 and 11 p.m. on weekdays. And then I usually do them anywhere from 1 to 6 p.m. on weekends. So I can catch everybody I can't catch at the end of the night. I can catch them during the middle of the day. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This one we're going to have 400 gold in prizes. Ooh, and this was a donation I got from Stinky Tool. Thank you, Stinky Tool, for the Polyluminescent Undulating Infusion Black. I'm going to be using that for one of the tourneys on Saturday or Sunday. So here we go. Anya moving in. Let's see if Toxic... Oh, I think he doesn't know that it's the wrong door. Yeah, I think he's under the impression that that was the door. Hey, thank you for that follow. I really appreciate that, Sisu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you guys click that follow, it really encourages me to keep doing this. Thank you, Sisu. I appreciate that. Now, Toxic, again, he's standing right beside that no port. He's really got to use that to his full advantage. He puts down the Chaos Storm, and he ports out of the Chaos Storm, actually. Anya's taking a little pressure in that. Yay, thank you for the follow. Igormker0094. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you so much for the follow, guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big damage coming down onto Toxic. Now, Anya is susceptible to Condi as a Revenant, but you have to be able to burst that and catch them on it. So it's Anya that moves on. Next up is going to be Sparkle Seed versus Valhor. So I believe that's Valhor, and here's Valhor right here. He's running the Core Warrior. Let's take a look over here at Sparkle Seed. Sparkle Seed I've never seen in any of my tournaments. I think this is the first time I see him. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is the first time I see him. He's running a regular Core Guard build. I like to see these Radiants. This is like the OG Core Guard build that you'll see all the time from way back, and it's still strong. Okay, so here we go. Sorry guys, I'm just doing some whispers over here. Hey, thank you for that follow. I really appreciate that. Corpfin, thank you, thank you, thank you guys. I put these on every single day. And it's just a way for me to practice my own skill, shoutcasting, and giving some content to PvP for the community. Good job by Meatwad being able to reverse that, really putting on the counter pressure. And that's one of the dangerous things about warriors, and it's a really tough fight for the Guardian. It's really tough for the Guardian in these matches. I do play core guard, and you really got to bait the warrior out of using a lot of his skills. Like, it's literally all about the bait at the first. You got to watch those pulse charges. You got to watch those breaking strikes. You got to watch those arcing slices. You got to watch those rushes, those trailblazes. You got to just be very, very, very attentive. It's a difficult match for the core guard to win. He is running with Valkyrie, so it's a little more YOLO. I don't know where he's getting all that health. Oh, the vitality from the Valkyrie. Sorry, my bad. That vitality does help quite a bit. Let's take a quick look at Meatwad, what he's running. He's running Spellbreaker on this one. I'm not sure if he was running Spellbreaker or Core Warrior. Was he running Core Warrior on the first one, guys? Do you remember?
Spellbreaker.
Okay, perfect. Spellbreaker. Oh, Alex, I got a sub for you, sir.
Appreciate it.
So here we go into game 2. Now 50's got to be very attentive, and let's see, take a look at a couple of his cooldowns. Oh, he's actually running with Stomp, and he's also got the Rampage and the Frenzy. He's also running with Mending, which is interesting. But there is a lot of high damage that comes out of the Guardian, so maybe the Signet of Healing there, Renewal, won't be very beneficial towards him. The damage is just going to outpace it. Meanwhile, getting the good Bulls charge for 100 Blades with the quickness on the Frenzy. Oof, that was big. He tried to get him in the Arcing Slice. He still has a Stomp, and he still has his Rampage. Good job by 50 getting some extra counter pressure onto him. He does have him in the Mage Vein. He does manage to get the Stomp. Very, very dangerous, and that's Meatwad that takes it, guys. Really good job by Sparkle Seed, though. He was unfortunate that he was able to pair it up against him. Our next one is going to be Nino JK versus Space Pen. Thanks for coming, 50. He got paired against someone that's a kind of his counters. Warriors is not something a core guard wants to fight at ever. They have a lot of damage mitigation. What?
Didn't that warrior named Meatwad already play? Didn't they fight Artemis, or was that just somebody with the same name? Because that was like the second Meatwad, wasn't it? That was only the first round of the bracket. I might be tripping.
No, Valhor. No. I think it's only the first time that he fought. So here we go. Perfect Cellular versus Call Me Daddy. And this is Spaceman, who started a long time ago in my tournaments, and he's just progressively got better and better and better and better and better. Now, Perfect Cellular doing a really good job staying at a distance. Now, Call Me Daddy doesn't have too much in the ranged aspect. So, really good job putting up the Photon Wall right away. Trying to keep that heavy pressure onto Call Me Daddy. Trying to get him to use a lot of his cooldowns. You can see already he's only got one on Rejuvenating Spite. He did wait a little bit. Good job on using that anti-projectile or projectile hate. Whatever, I'm not sure what that's called. Good CC coming out from Perfect Cellular. That's exactly what you want to see. That's the kind of good play that you can come from Hollow. That quick burst. I think he's running with Elixir U. Nice job on the CC. This is going to be really good. Now, Elixir S is dangerous at the same time because you can't do anything. This is a really good positioning by a Perfect Cellular. He goes into the stealth with the Photon Wall up. That's big damage. Good combo. Call Me Daddy's able to mitigate sustain, but he doesn't have much left in the tool bank. You can see all his mantras are down, all his tombs are down. He does able. No, not enough. Not enough. That was a really, really good match. Really quick, a lot of burst, really good back and forth. Really impressed with that one. Oh, hold on. Let me post the brackets for you, buddy. Oh, the brackets reset a bit. For those of you who just joined the Twitch chat, here you go. You can see the brackets. I gotta join the server first. I'll be posting the brackets in 1 second as soon as I log into the chat. There you guys. For those of you who just joined, that's the challengebracket.com, where this is probably the last match in our first round. This doesn't count because they haven't readied up. They just have to ready up to start. I'm actually going to take this time to go solicit. I'm just waiting for these guys to ready up. It's their game 2, guys. I'm just going right back. Is it still laggy for you guys? Yeah, they could switch sides, but any little, the more I add to it, the more difficult it becomes for me to run, because I do these all by myself. I do all the roster checks, everything by myself, and if I have to force these guys to switch sides, it's just going to get more annoying and more complicated. And like I said, that they've changed this thing. It used to be really huge and a big advantage for the red team, but now that they've reduced this in size, it's not so bad. Call Me Daddy's in a really bad spot, but he's able to port back up. He actually caught perfect cellular. Good job by putting up this projectile. Hey, getting caught in the big prime light beam, breaking stun from it. He's going a little patiently more through his mantras. He's got to be careful. He's got to be able to put that CC down onto perfect cellular. Get those condies up on him. Always running, mending, a little more sustained. The longer this fight goes, the worse it's going to be for Spacepan, which is Call Me Daddy. Perfect Cellular trying to keep the pressure up as much as he can. And he's doing a really good job. He tries to get him in the pull, but he doesn't manage to connect on it. He ports up to him with the binding blade, I believe it was. Good stacks of Condi. He's able to clear that really quickly. He's able to mitigate the shockwave as well. He's getting in a little better position here. He's being a little more calm with his mantras. He's not burning through them so quickly. Keeping up the shield of absorption. Now he's trying to go for the LOS and the spawn point, which is a pretty good idea. He's just trying to wait and try to get some cooldowns, trying to get his tombs back. Good pull by Spacepan, trying to keep the heavy Condi on top of him. Those burnings is what's going to do most of the damage. He's got to be careful here, though. His tomb is coming back up. His tomb was resolved, so that's very beneficial. Now the Elixir S is popped. This is good news for Spacepan. He wants to keep that pressure up onto him, and he knows he has no more oh shit button, so this is the time. He misses on the big pull. He tries to go for the overcharge. Now you saw him go for the shockwave, but he actually stowed it. I don't think he actually fully went with the shockwave. Nope. As you can see, it's still not on cooldown. Really good job by Cellular, seeing that he wasn't going to get the shockwave and actually mitigating it and pulling away. This is a really good position for Spacepan. He wants to take advantage of them. He does got Alacrity, so that Elixir S is coming up pretty soon, keeping the heavy pressure onto him. Oh no, Spacepan, just too much damage, but they're both standing in the poison. Actually, this poison is what killed them both from the timer. They didn't notice. That is our last game in this first round, so we're actually starting our quarterfinals right now. That was Nino that moves forward. Our match here, if you look at the brackets, it says Alex versus Noobs, but it's actually going to be Sarista versus Noobs. Christy versus Noobs. Now, Stash Whiplash is the guy you saw at the beginning in the first round. He's running that Burn Core Guard. And we've got Christy over here, which I believe is running the Fire Ellie? Yeah, Burn Ellie. Fire Elementalist, Fire Weaver, excuse me. I had to run through that for a while. Balthazar with Sage. He's also running Sword with Focus. He's really strong. He's been in a few of my tourneys already. He has won one of them. He usually goes to the semifinals, but Stash is really strong as well. They're both looking for the big burns here. It's just going to come down to who can bait who using their Condi clears first. He's got to watch out for that Twist of Fate, the Swirling Winds. So they just got to ready up to start. There we go. Once again, guys, thanks for joining me. So here you go, Christy versus Stash Whiplash. The first engage is going to be good. Now you see your Stash already going to the port, no port. He's putting up the swirling winds a little early, but he's just trying to mitigate the damage and trying to get some counter pressure onto him. He's trying to get him to get through his couple of his Condi clears. He doesn't have too much in the way of Condi clear. He's just trying auto attacking with Scepter, and Scepter on Guardian is really strong. Christie's taking a lot of damage. All those burns are going to catch him for sure. He's able to clear that just in the nick of time, but this is not the place that Christie wants to be in. 9 burns, he didn't catch them. He uses his renewed focus to try to mitigate that. Good job by Stash. But both of them getting caught with those heavy burns. And as I mentioned, it's going to be a burn war over here. He does have his shelter, so that's more invulnerability that he can use. And he gets the down on Christie. That was a very exciting match. Really quick. They just got to be careful and a little more attentive onto their cooldowns, onto their Condi clear. Because as you saw in that first match, Christie took 11 stacks of burning and cleared it only when he was at a quarter health. Same with Stash Whiplash. He got about 8 stacks of burning and was only able to clear it to quarter health. But this is the type of damage that comes from burn cards and burn weavers or fire weavers. If you're not attentive and you're not watching those cooldowns, it will rip you apart. So here we go into game 2. This is the first match of our quarterfinals, guys. Christie versus Noobs for Lunch. As I mentioned, Christie has replaced Alex. So here we go, game 2, guys. Sponsored by Corona. Not really, but Christie versus Stash Whiplash. This is going to be another one. It's going to be done out. I think it's going to be finished in a flurry. Maybe Christie's going to be a little more cautious this time. Won't engage too hard, but Stash Whiplash not giving him the advantage. Going for the no port spot right away, dropping that shield. Christie's got to be careful with that sword. He's got him in the corner. He's trying to keep the heavy pressure. There's a 5 stacks. He's able to clear it really quick. Stash Whiplash gets it right back on top of him. Now is Christie getting the better of the exchange between those two right now. But Stash still has his renewed focus. He still has his shelter. He still has a lot. And especially if he's able to put the Condis down, which he just did onto Christie. Ooh, this is going to be really tight. Stash is really low. He pops his renewed focus. This is what a flurry of a fight. And it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. He's trying to Scepter. Good job by Stash getting down onto the no port. He's in a little bit of a tight spot. He gets the big burning on Christie. That was epic. Now we're in a downstate fight. I don't know who the advantage is going to go to. Christie's trying to get close, but I don't think getting close is a good idea because he does have that little well he can drop. I don't think this is going to favor Christie at all. He might. No, I don't think he's going to be able to get this. That was an epic, really good fight. They both went into downstate. Christie trying everything he can to... Oh, he's missing away! Oh my god, they're both trying to self-res. Nope, Christie ends up going down. That would have been epic if they both self-res. So it's actually Noobs that moves forward in that really spectacular match. I like that one a lot. The next match is going to be really good. We've got Hannibal versus Romano. Am I spelling his name right? I don't know if I spelled it right. It's Romano, excuse me, guys. Calculated, obviously, from Stash Whiplash. So here we have the Spellbreaker. That's Romano right there, and we're just waiting for Hannibal now. I have to take this time to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Click that follow or click that subscribe button if you like this. I put out one tournament every single day. I've only been twitching for about 29 days now. If you check out my videos and highlights, you'll see every single day I put out some sort of content. I'm just trying to give back to the community. I played this game since launch and I really like it. I'm far from the best player, but I just like giving content. There's a lot of the big people that have left, so I've kind of tried to take up a little bit of that space, trying to give back to the PvP community. And so far I've been getting a lot of love from you guys, so thank you so much. And if you like it, click that follow, click that subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys. Just waiting for Hannibal. I believe he's supposed to be here. I'm not sure where he is. There he is. He's actually running Scourge. But we saw Shield before. He has a lot of Condi clear. He has that 5-second weapon swap, and on that weapon swap he has that Condi clear. He's also running Sigil of Cleansing. Yeah, Sigil Cleansing on his Greatsword, so he's got the other clear there. Maybe he should run it on the other one, but I don't think Annulment's going to serve him too much in this one. As there's not too much that he can get from buffs over here, Immortal. I don't think he utilizes stability too much either.
Go ahead, hit me.
But it's definitely going to be a good fight. I'm excited to see it. And like I said, he's also got the Mending for the Condi Clear. He's also got the Shake It Off. He's got a lot of Condi Clear. He's just got to be really careful on when he uses it and how he uses it. He can't burn them too quickly. Immortal going right for the no port spot. And the no port spot is not necessarily beneficial against a warrior, but warriors have a lot of, like, the line, like his Bull's Rush or Bull's Charge or his Rush. All of that is where he's situated on the ground and he can't really jump or get around things. So if he's able to use even the shoulder of the stairs or anything like that to kind of stop him from coming at him so hard, this is good kiting by Immortal. He's trying to get away, but he does have that cripple. Good job. He's getting him in the 100 blades. He's able to break free of it. Let's take a look at Immortal's cooldowns. He doesn't have much. He does have his heal, which he just popped. He's got a little bit of Shroud left. He's got to put down any Condi that he can onto Immortal. Let's see what Immortal has for Condi Clear. He doesn't have much Condi Clear. He just has kind of that one weapon swap. Good fear by Immortal, trying to build a little bit of the distance, trying to go for that no port spot, just standing up. This is what he needs to do, just constantly try to keep him and the warrior in between. Oh, he tried to port back up, but it didn't work. Big damage. He does have, the longer this fight goes, the more benefit it goes into Immortal, in my opinion. Now, this is the exact position that he wants to be in. He wants to create that distance. He wants to be able to have him to run towards him. Now, there's no type of projectiles that Immortal, that Shield 4 has at its availability. Really good job, Fear, on that one. Again, just constantly dumping on the Condis, trying to get him to go through all of his cooldowns, which he already did. He does have the Bull's Charge, so he's got to be a little bit careful. He does land the Bull's Charge. He goes for the Breaching Strike, which he does land on him. He does have Mending coming up. Good job by Immortal right now, doing a really good job of mitigating damage, doing a really good job of kiting, and this is the type of play that you want to see from your Necros. Even in ranked matches, this is the type of kiting that you need to be able to do. He's doing a really good job, and as I mentioned, Shield 4 doesn't have any type of projectile, so it's maybe a little easier. Now he's just trying to keep the pressure onto Shield 4 as much as he can. Good Bull's Charge on him, but he's able to break that stun right away with the Trail of Anguish. He does go into Rampage, but he comes right back out. Now there's no longer any more healing. The AoE effect has started to spawn, and down goes Shield 4. Immortal knows that the shield, he's got to be careful for that poison. Okay, he does know. We're going into game 2. This one's going to be the first match in the quarterfinals was really good. The second match is going to be really, really good. I'm excited to see how Shield 4 compensates. There's not much he can do in the way of getting more Condi Clear because he's got probably the max amount of Condi Clear that you can possibly get from a warrior. He's got the Mending, he's got the Shake It Off, he's got the Cleansing, he's got it's right here. Brawler's Recovery, I believe it's called. Yeah, Brawler's Recovery. Immortal did a really good job of kiting. He got caught a couple times, but he saved a lot of his break stuns. As you can see, he's got the Trail of Anguish for the break stun. He's got the Spectral Walk for the break stun. And he used them both very intelligently. Good fear coming out by Immortal. And you see, he's able to use that little no port. It's not necessarily no port, but he's able to get away from the Bull's Charge because that warrior doesn't have the ability to leap or get above him to get it. He's got him on the Mage Bane. Now, a good job on the Mage Bane, and he used the Spectral Walk to come right back. He gets him in the Bull's Charge. This is going to be fucking huge. Good job by Shield Hero, taking full advantage. And as I mentioned, that Mage Bane is what starts a lot of his combos out. And if he's able to get the pull, it really works out in his favor. Now, Immortal did a really good job. He got pulled by the Mage Bane, and he was able to use the Spectral Walk to come back, but he wasn't able to get over the LOS or any type of let's say barrier to stop him from getting that Bull's Charge. It seemed like he got him the Bull's Charge and then he just kept dumping on the pressure. It was too much for Immortal. And this is a game 3 we're going into our quarterfinal. This is going to be really, really exciting. Both really strong competitors. I'm not sure who I'm going for, but Immortal did some really good plays there.
Go ahead.
Let's see if he made any changes to his build. I don't believe so. He's still going with Blood, Soul Reaping. He's still got Rune of the Traveler with Sage, Scepter of Torch with Staff, An annulment. I see annulment in a lot of 2v2 or 1v1 tournaments. It's a very, very, very strong sigil, especially if you use it correctly. Good fear on him. He's trying to keep the Condi up. Quick clear, Condi clear by shield 4. This is not a place that Immortal wants to be. Standing right in face to face, like face tanking a lot of that damage. Good job mitigating it. Ooh, shield 4 got stuck on that one. Now this is a really good job by Immortal. He's making him, he's punishing him. There's no sort of projectile coming from shield 4, so he can just dump and dump and dump and dump. And it doesn't seem like he's taking a lot of damage. He's not keeping the Condis. But if we take a look at shield 4, as soon as he comes out of Rampage, you can see he's already gone through his Shake It Off. He's just used his Mending again. This is a bad situation for Shield 4. Immortals can't get complacent though. He's got to be very careful. He got caught in that 100 blades right there, and he's got the Mage Bane on top of him. And that was a good job by Immortal, making sure that he stays around this little area. So when he does get pulled by the Mage Bane, he can get stuck by the little block over here. Heavy pressure coming out. He tries to get him in the world when he doesn't manage to get it. He puts up the Ghastly Breach. Let's take a look at his cooldowns. He's got 3 seconds. He does have the Spectral Walk as well. He's probably going to save that for the break stun. Nope. He's using it just to port away, and that's exactly what you need it for. Really good job. This is a bad situation. He tries to get him in the whirlwind. Again, he's got to get some heavy Condi pressure. He's got the Mage Bane. This is bad. Oh, the Bull's Charge, and that's going to be it, I think. Yeah, that's Romano. That takes a really impressive play. Really, really impressive play. So that's Romano that takes it in a 2-1 series. It's actually going to be me versus Anya next. Ooh. Yeah, like Meatwad just said, good job, Romano. That's not an easy one, not an easy 1v1 for a Spellbreaker. Warriors are very susceptible to Condi, but those are usually only warriors that you see in ranked matches because they're not really prepared for Condi. They don't put as much Condi clear as Romano did. But that was a really good, that's top tier level play right there. You see, he knows what he's fighting and he adjusts his build accordingly. And he also adjusts his playstyle. This is going to be a really tough fight for me. I got to be able to bait Anya into using a lot of his damage mitigation. He has a lot of that staff. I got to get him to use the staff without using a lot of my burst. And then when I get my burst onto him, I got to be able to stop it really quickly because I got to be prepared for him to use his glint heal. So it's difficult for a warrior to win this match, a guardian to win this matchup, especially this type of guardian that I'm running. I'm a very high damage Zeal, Radiance, Valor warrior, a guardian, excuse me, and I drop a lot of symbols. So my symbols I can't really control most of the time. Once they're down, and he can use those easily to heal himself in his glint. Now this is going to be a hard engage. I'm going to try to go in with a Judge's Intervention with a Zealot's Blade just to try to bait him out into using some of his this is what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted there. Now I'm going to try to get some big CC and some big damage down onto him if I can. I need to get him to use his glint heal. This is a bad spot for me. I got to try to stay on the no port as much as I can. He can't get me up here. He did a good job of dropping that AoE. He tried to get the glint elite. Oh, this is going to be bad news for me here, guys. Yeah, that was really, really, really bad. I wasn't able to get the heavy pressure onto him right away. He was able to mitigate a lot of that. I did get him into using his staff little invuln right away with the Zealot's defense and the port into him. But I didn't able to get any counter pressure on top of him. Anya is one of the better reps that I know of, that's for sure. So it's going to be a tough fight. And I don't think Guardian has the advantage in this fight either. But I'm going to try to go in a little slower this time and not engage him super, super hard. I'm going to try to use a no port right away. And I'm not going to engage on him right away. I'm going to wait for him to come to me. Then maybe try to catch him in some heavy bursts. But I really got to be careful about his mitigation, his damage mitigation. I got to watch out for that AoE of his. Here's the glint that I got to watch out for. There's the glint that I was looking for. And that's what I need to be careful for. I got him in the Ray of Judgment. That should get him. Yeah, perfect. And as you see, when I got him in the big burst, when he started to get to about 30%, I knew he was going to use his glint heal. So I had to kind of stop myself right away from dropping any more symbols or dropping any more damage. And then I saw him running, and I was able to use Judge's intervention. Alright, this is going to be game 2. Anya's going to come out fucking hard on this one. He doesn't like losing, so I'm sure he's going to come out really hard. I'm going to try the tactic that I used at the beginning to try to make sure, pretend like I'm coming in a little harder on him. Thanks, Anya. He said this because Meatwad was like, "Good job, Mike. Why using Wrath of Wrath of Justice over Retribution? Retribution, if you can see right here, right click, right here is the immob, and I don't like Retribution too much because the immob gives me the ability to get my damage down. It's a 3-second immob, and it's really strong. And as Anya mentioned, immob is a higher skill cap as well. You got to be really able to time it. You got to watch for any type of blinds or blocks or aegis." So like I said, what I'm going to try to do on this one again is try to engage him really, really quickly with the Zealot's defense. Try to get him to use that immob. Now I got to get onto the no port. I got to be careful with this here. I got him in the immob. No, I didn't get him in the immob. Got to be really careful here. He's already used his glint heal, and I used a lot of my damage on him. This is going to be bad news, Brown, right here, guys. This is bad news. I'm able to mitigate a lot of damage just by standing on the no port. Oh! Oh, you got me really good. Really good. But that's what I mean about using that no port. I was able to use the no port and stand on the edge, and I mitigated a lot of his damage. But he saw me do that. He dropped his shackling wave and his AoE effect. And that's Anya moving on to the next round. I think that's the same. Is that you? Yeah, it is you, Cloud. I'm starting to recognize your voice. I got Cloud with me in the Discord, guys. Our next match after this is going to be Valhor versus Nino JK. This is going to be another good match. Really, really good match. Nice, and they're both in the Twitch stream, so thank you so much, guys. It makes my job so much easier when you're in here. And I know you... Despite the fact that I'm reading out the builds, you've already seen them in the first couple rounds, so everybody knows what everybody's running, so it doesn't really matter. Strength, Discipline, and Spellbreaker. He's running Leadership with Demolisher. He's also got the Dagger again with the Shield. I really like watching Meatwad. He's a really strong warrior. Perfect Cellular as well. He's running with Demolisher and Leadership, the classic tools Hollow. He's comboing really well, and if you want to learn how to do some good combos or pair things really well together, watch Perfect Cellular. I'm going to watch him for this first round. I'm going to watch Meatwad for the second one. He's going in with the stealth to get the engage onto Meatwad. Good CC, gets him in the overcharge. He breaks it right away, and he's coming right at him. He gets him in the shockwave, photon wall up, getting some big damage. Prime light beam right after. That was a beautiful fucking combo. And now you can see he goes into Elixir S to try to mitigate some of the rampage. He dodges that big rock throw. He is able to stay close enough and to get that Mage Bane to wear off, just keeping the heavy pressure onto him. But the warriors are always dangerous. It only takes a second or two for them to take a chunk of your health away. And Meatwad's in a really good day. See what he was trying to do? He was trying to rush away to get the Mage Bane, but it was very unfortunate for Meatwad because when he got to the perfect distance, the Mage Bane actually wore off, and then it made Perfect Cellular was in perfect position. Sorry guys, I'm just getting a whisper. I'll respond to you really quick in a moment, Hannibal. Oh, and this is exactly what I mean. The sustain coming out from warriors is really, really high. And you can never get complacent when you're fighting a warrior. It literally takes them 1 or 2 seconds to just annihilate you and consume all of your health. It doesn't take much time at all, as you saw right there. And even though Perfect Cellular opened up with a great combo, got him with that overcharge, you got him with the shockwave, the photon blitz, the corona burst, then he got him with the prime light beam, he got him with the overcharge shot. He did really, 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 really well. But the pressure coming from Meatwad was just too much. I think he's running with, oh, he's also got Mending, and he's also got Stomp. They're both very interesting. Yay, Nature Salad!
I feel like Stomp's like an underrated ability.
It is underrated in my opinion.
Go ahead.
Nature Salad is one of my biggest biggest donators. He was on vacation for about 2 weeks, so I didn't see from him. But thank you so much. He's just sent me an Endless Ocean Skin Greatsword.
Ooh, 45G right there.
I'm going to be using those for the tournaments. And I couldn't do these without you guys. Like all the donations, I do tourneys every single day, and it's usually always over 150 gold. And I can't support it myself, so I get a lot of donations from the community. Big ups to all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Haloon Bell, Nature Salad, Exan. These guys are really big donators, and they help me out so much. Good job by Perfect using that CC. Yes, Perfect. Yes, Perfect. So yeah, that's how you do it. And now, as I mentioned, with Warriors, they only have that little line of track that they can go on. And if you're able to get a little out of just on the edge of the shoulder of the stairs or on the no port, anything to mitigate that charge, you really put them in a bad spot. This is a game 3 actually we're going into. This is our last round in our quarterfinals. We'll be moving into the semifinals. We do have a third place match, and we're also going to have a first and second, our finals. But we are having a third place. We're going to do third place before the finals, and the finals is going to be a best of 5 series, guys. So here we go, Meatwad versus Perfect Celia. This is a game 3, man. Really, really, really interesting. They both did really good combos. Meatwad's got to be a lot more careful on those CCs. He's been getting caught a lot he's been getting caught in a lot of them, and he's lucky that he has so much sustain and so much health as a warrior that he was able to get away with it in the first round. But Perfect Celia made him pay for it in the second one. Here we go. He started trying to trailblaze, quick block, and quick going in with the whirlwind. He tried the shield block already, but good job by Perfect Cellular. He sees that shield block up, and he knows the Prime Light Beam is unblockable. He opens it up, and that creates a big, that creates an opener for Perfect Cellular. He gets him in the stomp, tries to get the Bull's Charge with the Arcing Slice. He goes into Rampage. He's able to, oh, that was really unfortunate for Meatwad, falling underneath. And that's, again, using the terrain to his full advantage, and that's what separates. And that's like the more high-tier skill stuff. You got to be able to use the terrain. It makes the biggest difference in the match. You can be the perfect player, but if you don't use the terrain properly, you're not going to win. If there's someone else who knows how to exploit the terrain very well, it's going to be a difficult fight for you. Oh, he gets him in the big burst right here. He gets him in the 100 blades. This is really, really tight right here. He goes for the mending. He still does have the stomp, so he can use that to CC him. He's got to be careful. He's in Photon Wall, and he's in Hollow Forge. A hollow mode. He's got the Mage Bane on him, so that's extra damage. Even if he's close, he's still got the extra damage. Gets the Arcing Slice, which puts all the pressure down onto Perfect Cellular. That was fucking beautiful. Good job by Meatwad. Good job by Perfect Cellular. Spectacular match, guys. That was very entertaining to watch. Kudos to both of you. That's a 2-1 series. Valhor is actually moving forward. We're going to be going into our semifinals now, guys. Before I announce the names, I'm just going to run into the mist and shamelessly promote, you know, that's what I do. If you see XZ, Mike XZ, or Oashi, that's me. I'm the guy who's shamelessly promoting in map chat all the time. So you guys just gotta bear with me just a little bit. Also, I'll post the, my computer's going really slow right now. I don't know why.
What's the loading time right now?
Alright guys, I'm coming right back in.
Mike, just you wait. Once I get that Queen Bee infusion,
Oh,
3k gold.
nice. So we have Noobs, Noobs versus, hold on, let me check. Noobs versus Romano. This is going to be good. Shield 4. He's been doing a really spectacular job, Romano, in this whole entire series. He's been fighting a lot of his counters, and he's been doing a spectacular job. This is top tier, in my opinion, top tier Spellbreaker moves over here. I tried to do this one. Where is Noobs? There's Stash with Flash. This is going to be a really interesting fight. We are going to have a third place. This is going to be a really good fight. Let's see if he's still got Brawler's Recovery. Yeah, this is going to be tough for Stash Whiplash. And as I mentioned, the Shield 4 has already seen, Romano has already seen what he's running, so he's already a little preemptive on it. But Shield has got to be really quick on those Condi clears because noobs can stack them up. Noobs is actually Stash Whiplash. Stash can stack up those burns really quick. Look at that. 8 burns right there. Half his health gone. He's already used the mending. He's got that projectile hate. He's standing on the no port. He's able to push him back. He's just trying to keep that scepter. Really good job on the scepter auto attack. And that's really good job by Romano. He's not using any of his cooldowns. He's just using the LOS and the terrain to mitigate those scepters. Really good job by Static, Stash, waiting for him to come close and then trying to dump it. And a really good job by Romano. He's baiting him into using a lot of his cooldowns. He hasn't even used, ooh, he got to burning him again, but he's able to use to shake it off. The 6 stacks again! And that's the dangerous part coming up from Stash Whiplash. He can put up those burns so quickly that he doesn't, you have to be really careful. You got to be watching your Condis all the time with this type of build. Like with Fire Weavers or with this type of build. This is a custom build, I think, that Stash Whiplash has created. In my opinion, I think it's custom. I haven't seen it too often. Meatwad.
Dude, both their names are amazing.
Stash Whiplash. And then Stash is in map chat. He's like, new meta. Shield 4, I got meme. And yeah, definitely not new meta. Meatwad, you got meme. New meta, I said. Really good. Really, really entertaining fight. I'm really happy with these quarterfinals and semifinals. They've been very entertaining. A lot of top tier fights. As soon as I'm done this tournament, guys, I'm going to be putting it into my highlights videos. So if you're in it, or if you want to go over it again, or if there's a character that you want to play and you saw someone in here playing it really strong and you want to watch how they did it, you're more than welcome to take a view at those. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Here we go. This is our game 2 of our first round in our semifinals, I believe. Now, he's got to be really careful. He's got to be a lot quicker on those those clears. He gets him in the rock throw. Good job with the rampage. And now he's able to come out of rampage really quickly and clear those burns. Look how fast Stash Whiplash is putting on those burns. I think Shield 4 has already gone through all of his Condi mitigation. He's got nothing left. But Stash has still got his shelter, still got his renewed focus, and he still has Sword of Justice, which he's waiting to proc up again. He's being a little careful, but he does not want to be trading blows with Shield 4. This is not the position he wants to be in. He just uses renewed focus, and now I'm pretty sure that Romano knows he has, but he's still got to be careful. Those burns are dangerous. Stash Whiplash just using that AoE just from this scepter, which is really strong. Does a lot of damage. That's a really good time waster and in-between move if you don't want to use any cooldowns and you still want to keep the pressure up. Oh, big damage coming out from Romano. He's got to be careful. He gets able to clear that. He misses on the Bull's charge, I believe. Tries to get the Arcing Slice. Doesn't catch him in the Arcing Slice. Those 4 stacks of burning are going to be killer, man, if he doesn't get them off. Let's take a look at his cooldowns. He doesn't have mending. The burning is back on. Stash Whiplash gets it on a Shield 4. Condis aren't very good for Spellbreakers, and Romano did an excellent job in this tournament. Kudos to Romano. That was really, really impressive. And Noobs memeing his way all the way to the finals. Really good job. And Romano, please don't go far. There is a 3rd place match, so please don't go far, guys. Our next match is going to be another good one. It's going to be Anya versus Valhor. I don't know who I would give the favor to on this.
All of them are really good.
Yeah, all these are really good, but who would you give the advantage to class-wise? Spellbreaker or Revenant?
I don't know. Both of them look really good defensive and offensive.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good.
Today it's probably going to go to timer.
You think I might go to timer actually if Meatwad's very careful and doesn't get caught in big burst by Anya, because all Anya has to do is get that big burst on him. And mind you, I don't think Meatwad's running with Sigil. I think he's running with Mending on this one.
I don't know. If I were to go up like skill wise, I know Anya has played for a really long time.
Anya's a fucking beast, bro.
Yeah. So I might say it goes to Anya.
Hey, thank you, Salad Official, for posting the challengeback.com. I really appreciate that, man. Sorry, Cloud, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I think Miwad might put on a pretty good fight against Anya though, just from seeing him so far in the.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to put on a good fight. And he's also very dangerous. And Rampage right here is very dangerous against Anya and the Revenants as well. As long as he's careful with that. You see the glint heal, he's got to be careful on that. He can't keep dumping the pressure onto him when he's got the glint heal. He's got to be very attentive for that. He does have Arcing Slice. He did use it. He wasn't able to catch him with it. He does have the mending that come up and the Bull's Charge that's ready to use. He gets him to the CC. Anya breaks it. He does have the mending. He didn't use his heal. I'm not sure why. Really good job by Anya, keeping the pressure up heavy onto Meatwad. Now, if Anya ends up winning this one, I think it's going to be a really good match, Noobs versus Anya. Because usually Revs don't have much Condi clear, and they're very susceptible to Condi. And Noobs has been playing very cleverly. He's been using the LOS, he's been using his projectile hate, Scepter when he doesn't need to use any of his cooldowns. So I think it's going to be a really good fight. Noobs is in his groove. Anya is definitely in his groove. He's a very dominant player. I wish Anya streamed. You got eyes. Goddamn stream, Anya. We want to watch you, boy. So here we go into game 2, and I'll take this time to shamelessly promote. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really, really, really appreciate it. If you like this type of content, check out my highlights video. I do it every single day. I'm really new to streaming. I've only been shoutcasting for a little over 3 weeks, but if you like this stuff, click that follow or click that subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It's like a pat on my back telling me to keep going. Thank you so much for watching either way, guys. So here we go, Meatwad versus Anya. Oh, nice. Anya does stream sometimes. I gotta catch his stream. I really want to watch him. He's a really good player, and he's super nice. Really, really nice dude, man. So here we go. Anya keeping the heavy pressure onto Meatwad. Meatwad's in a little bit of danger here. He's got to be able to create some distance, or at least get a big CC. He does have his Rampage, and this is where I would use it. Just use Rampage to try to mitigate a lot of the damage coming towards him. And it'll kind of frighten Anya a bit. Pull him away. But he's being a little more patient on it. There's the, there he goes. He tries to get it. Anya uses the glint heal, but the glint heal has run up. Tries to get him in the CC. Really good job by Anya, mitigating a lot of that damage, using a lot of his, not wasting a lot of his cooldowns. Really big burst coming up from Meatwad. He does have the Mage Bane, but smartly by Anya, closing the gap between the two. But that's maybe not necessarily the best choice, because when he does close the gap, he forces, oh Lord, Meatwad. And that's what I also talk about a lot. With top tier guys, there's just little windows of opportunity that you see throughout the duel. And if you're not able to capitalize on that window of opportunity, you're going to be in the deficit. And in that situation, Meatwad had that little window of opportunity. He took full advantage. He was patient on his Rampage. And when he used his Rampage, Anya had to use a lot of his dodges and his CC or his mitigation to be able to mitigate a lot of that. As soon as he came out, Meatwad got him with the big burst, and he got him with the Arcing Slice and the Mage Bane. And now Anya was in a tough situation. Do I stay close within range where he's melee and he can hurt me? Or do I go far away where I can be possibly pulled by the Mage Bane, and then he can open up on the big DPS and do his combo on me? And that was a really good job by Meatwad. It put Anya between a rock and a hard place, and he was able to capitalize on that small little window, and he was able to take the win. This is our last game in our semifinals, and it's a 1-1 series. Really impressive by both participants. I wonder how this is going to conclude. And as I mentioned, guys, we are having a third place match. So I know Romano and whoever loses this is going to be fighting. Assuming Romano is still here, I believe. Yeah, Shield 4. Sweet. Thank you for staying, Romano. I really appreciate that, buddy. I always like watching your warrior. Really, 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 really strong play. So here we go. I'm just going to, let's see if he goes in for the hard engage. Meatwad kind of sitting back and waiting. Really good job by both of them. Not getting too excited or overzealous. Oh, big damage by Anya right there. He got him in the shackling wave. And that big burst. I don't know too much about Revenants, but I definitely got to start playing them a bit more, so when I cast, it's going to be a little easier. He gets him in the big AoE, he tries to get the whirling. Anya's doing a spectacular job of dominating the terrain, using LOS to his fullest advantage, and was able to get it down on Meatwad. So Anya's moving on to our finals over here. Our finals is going to be Anya versus Noobs, but we're going to be moving into our third place match right now, which is going to be Spellbreaker versus Spellbreaker. Valor versus Romano. And if everybody, just so everybody knows, After I'm done the tournament, maybe 5 minutes after is when I'm going to be sending out the rewards. So first, second, and third get gold. I'm going to be sending it out in Mystic coins. So it's going to be 50% to first place, 30% to second place, and 20% to third place. So that's how we're going to be divvying it up for this one, guys. So as I said, 400 gold in Mystic coins, 50% to first place, 30% to second place, and 20% to third place. So if you guys are in this tournament and you do hear me, please don't go too far after the tournament is over. I'm going to need to send you your gold. It looks like Shield 4 might be, no, there he is. He's okay. This is going to be really good. Spellbreaker versus Spellbreaker. They do have slightly different builds. Let's take a look over here. He's running Strength, Discipline, and Spellbreaker. He's running Strength, yeah. Strength, Discipline, and Spellbreaker. There's a couple differences, I believe, in their utilities and their runes. I think he's running with Dagger. He's running with Dagger as well. But he's running the Stomp and he's running with the Shake It Off. I don't necessarily think he needs to Shake It Off, but it does give you the double break stun, which is pretty crucial against Warriors. He does use it right there, as you just saw. Meatwad keeping the heavy pressure onto Shield 4. He's got to have to try to counter. This is a, oof, Spellbreaker versus Spellbreaker. The only thing I don't like about Spellbreaker versus Spellbreaker is whose Mage Bane is that? You know what I mean? Who's got the Mage Bane? It's so hard to tell who has the Mage Bane on each other. It gets very confusing sometimes, but you just got to be attentive on when you use your elite, not your elite, but your Arcing Slice or your full counter to see if you can get the Mage Bane. Really good pog. Oh, he gets him in the 100 blades. Oof. Super rare that you're able to see a warrior get through the full animation of their 100 blades, and he was actually got the good stun on Shield 4 and got the full extent of the 100 blades out onto him. That it was incredible. Really, really good participants. Right now, these guys, everybody in the finals or in the semifinals are participating really well, going really well. Yeah, I want to see you stream, man. I want to see some of this rep play, bro. You're a beast. So this is our third place match. Meatwad took game 1. Let's see if Shield 4 made any changes to his utility. No, he's still going with the Shake It Off. He's still I like the Frenzy a lot. If you combo with Frenzy well with the Bull's Charge, like if you catch the Bull's Charge, then you know Pop Frenzy, Golden 100 Blades, Whirlwind, Trailblaze, things of that nature. It just gives you a lot of ability to get the big burst because Warriors are a little slow sometimes, especially 100 Blades is super slow. But if you get it with a Frenzy and the quickness, man, does it pile on the damage. Good CC by Meatwad over here. Really good call on the Rampage. Excellent call. You saw that he got him in a couple CCs. He wasn't able to mitigate it really quickly, so he said, you know what, fuck it. While I have this opportunity and I got the pressure on him, I'm going to go into Rampage. And as soon as he exits Rampage, he's got all his utility. He's got everything accessible to him. That was a really good pull. Bad rush by Meatwad, giving too much distance. And now this is a bad thing because he's not using Regen, but he still has the Mending, which is just as much as Regeneration as Signet. Because the renewal of over 11-second period, actually, I think the Mending actually gives more. Really good job by Meatwad. Good countering by Shield 4. And this is what I was mentioning. He can't give him too much space. When he had that window of opportunity, he should have taken advantage of him. He gets it on the good Whirlwind. He's able to pop the shield really quickly. Now, Shield 4 has got to get some counter pressure onto Meatwad. He's just not able to do that damage. Mending is back up. So it's kind of countering it. We're trying to bring it back a little more even. I don't know whose Mage Bane that is. I think someone got the Breaching Strike. I think it was Shield 4 that got the Breaching Strike, but I can't tell. And that's the problem with Mage Bane. It's really funny. He does have the Mending. Mending is so quick on proc. Jesus, Murphy. Tries to get him in the Shield Bash, doesn't get it. Tries to get the Breaching Strike, doesn't get it. Now Meatwad is able to counter back onto him. Seeing that he missed and mitigated both of those. Good pull, but he was, that was super unfortunate. He kind of went after him on the Dagger Strike. Tries to get him the Bull's Charge, 100 Blades, and Whirlwind, and that's it. Meatwad takes it over Romano. Third place going to Meatwad. Thank you so much, Romano, and thank you so much, Meatwad. Meatwad, don't go very far, sir. After this is over, I'm going to be giving you your third place winnings. It is 20% of 400 gold. So you do the math. That's what you're going to be getting. But it's going to be coming in Mystic Coins. Because I'm gold capped, and I can't send out any more gold. So now we have our finals, guys. This is going to be good. Hold on, guys. Before, I'm just going to go shamelessly promote And then what I've realized is you gotta have thick skin and you gotta shamelessly promote a lot. Especially in Guild Wars where the scene isn't too big. We're trying to recreate it here. We're trying to give it something, you know what I mean? And now that I started streaming and putting on these tourneys, I see a lot more streamers coming on. I get people messaging me saying, hey, I know I see you streaming a lot, and sometimes I want to know, like, how do you keep motivated, or how do you keep the crowd engaged? And there's a lot of these questions, a lot of these things are coming, and I'm really, really happy to see that a lot more people are starting to stream, and that's what we need in this community. Sorry guys, I'm coming right back in. We just need a lot more participation. We need to be a little nicer to each other as well. You know what I mean? Can't be so rude and so toxic. So here we go, Stash Blast versus Anya. This is going to be a really, really, really interesting fight, I think, because Anya is susceptible to Condi, and he's got to be really careful. And now Stash Blast is very susceptible to high burst. If Anya is able to get that burst down onto him, Stash is going to be in a very tight spot. Now, if Stash is able to get those burns onto Anya, that's going to be a really tight spot. But these are both top tier players, and they got to be able. Stash has got to be able to bait Anya. He can't just dump all of his Condi onto some sort of damage mitigation or some sort of invuln that he's got going on. He's got to be really attentive and watch his animations and see and keep in mind what he's already used. The glint heal is going to be really huge for Anya, and you're going to see he's going to use it very smartly. He's going to wait for those huge stacks of burning, and then he's going to pop his glint, bring himself right back to the top. Now here we go, already in the engage. Anya just waiting back, kind of patiently waiting, letting him use a couple of his cooldowns. Anya getting the better of the exchange on this one. He's already got burning. Anya's got to be a little careful, but he's not in too much pressure. He's only got 4 stacks of burning, and looks like Anya might take this one. He has used the renewed focus. Let's take a quick look at Stash. He does have his shelter, which he has already used. I'm not sure how that turned out. Why he didn't get the heal, but maybe Anya just bursted right through it. Now this is a bad situation for Stash. Even if he does try to get the heavy Condi onto him, Anya still has his glint heal, so he's no, he doesn't. I don't think. There's a couple of adjustments that noobs can make. Hold on 1 minute, guys. I'm just going to grab myself another beer really quick. Hey, my webcam wasn't on. How come you guys didn't tell me? Hey, guys. I'm just going to go grab a beer really quick. I'll leave you on Anya. Alright guys, here we go. And this is another thing for noting. Anya's writing in the Twitch chat. Ref does fine against builds that don't give a lot of cover Condis, like Burn Guard and I guess Weaver, which makes a lot of sense. They do have some sort of clear, but not heavy clear. So if there isn't too much Condi cover on top of the main damage Condi, then they can do pretty well. And such is the situation right now against Stash Whiplash, where his main Condi is Burn, and maybe he's got some not invuln, but vulnerability and some blindness that he can stack, and a little bit of poison that he can stack, but there's not much in the way of Condi clear coming from Stash Whiplash. As you saw, Anya was able to mitigate most of it pretty easily. Stash has got to use a better strategy in this situation. He can't be too complacent. He's got to watch out for that burst and that main engage. He does use his Shield of Wrath right away to try to get Anya down a little bit, and he's got those burnings, and those doing a lot of ticks, and that's what he needs. He needs to put the burning on quickly. There you go, another 4 stacks. That's exactly what Stash needs to do, but he's also got to be very, very, very wary of the big damage coming from Anya. He's standing in that AoE, which is really dangerous for him. He got hit with that shackling wave. He does go into renewed focus. This is a dangerous situation right now. He's trying to get the heavy pressure back onto him, but he just can't do it right now. Anya's doing a really good job of mitigating the damage. He gets the 4 Condi burns. That's game 2 going to Anya. Burn firebrands are definitely much stronger than Core Guardians, that's for a fact. Burn Firebrands are fucking ridiculously strong and really easy to use. I was actually watching, you guys should definitely check out Naru and Grimjack if you're looking to increase your gameplay. They give a lot of good info, and Naru was actually using a Firebrand yesterday, and he was rolling faces. I saw him win 2 3v1s yesterday. Mind you, Naru's a really strong player, but Burn Firebrand is a really strong build at the moment. So here we go into game 3. Statue Flash. Are you ready, Anna? Anya? He's like, sure. Master of Consecrations. So let's see what he pulls out on this one, Mr. Statue Blast. This is do or die right here for him. He's got to be in it to win it, man. He's got to use that no port spot. He's going back into the spawn, which kind of brings him into a little tighter spot. He's got to be careful for the AoE, and that was a good engage by Anya. And it was just a bait that he did. You see what he did there? He just ported it in. He got Stash to use a couple of his cooldowns. He's got to be really careful. He's got to use his shield, his renewed focus a little more, or his renewed focus a little earlier when he comes in for the hard engage, so he can kind of back him off. He's got him in the 4 burnings, but you're going to see that glint heal coming up pretty soon. Now Stash has got to be careful on how many burnings he puts on Anya right now, because he's going to use that to his advantage to heal up. Oof, this doesn't look good for Stash. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. Stash Whiplash ends up losing into the finals, but did a really good job. He used his meme build and got all the way to the finals. We have Meatwad in 3rd, Stash Whiplash in 2nd, and Anya in 1st place. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it, guys. If you like this type of content, check out my highlights video. I do them every single day. 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, Fashion Wars content, or guild or in-house 5v5s that is open to the public. Click that follow or click that subscribe if you want to see when I do it. It is September, so it's half price on subscriptions. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for coming out, guys. I'm probably going to take about 15-20 minute break. I'm going to hand out all the gold, talk to all the competitors, post the video, do a bunch of little knickknacks, and then I'll be back in about 15-20 minutes to do some casual ranked. I'm just going to be chilling in the Discord with the boys, having a couple beers, and just having a relaxed stream. You guys are more than welcome to join me. Thank you so much for coming out to this one. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Click that follow, click that subscribe. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Up for a challenge?